In this video, you're going to learn how to use the Hotspot Analysis tool found in the Census Studio Custom ArcGIS Pro toolbox. The Hotspot Analysis tool takes a feature class with a numeric field, such as median income by tract, and identifies where high and low values cluster together spatially. Not just individual high and low values, but the clusters of the neighbors with similar values. So you can see I've already highlighted the Hotspot Analysis tool. It's found within your Census Studio custom toolbox under Analysis Tools. So we'll double click on Hotspot Analysis to kick this off. You have to have an existing data set to run this tool against. And you can see we already have a feature class that contains household income for Denver, Colorado at a census tract level already displayed on the map. So first thing we'll need to do is identify our input feature class, which again is that household income by for the county of Denver inside of Colorado. Then you need to identify your analysis field. Now in the mapping that we've already done, you can see that we've used the percent change in household income to create our graduated color map. And what you're seeing, of course, is the tracts that are highlighted in yellow. Those are the tracts that experience the highest increase in household income over a period of time. It's actually a 5-year time period. And then the tracts in dark blue are the exact opposite of that. Those are the tracts that contain the lowest percentage change in household income over that 5-year time span. So for the analysis field, this does need to be a numeric field. We're going to go ahead and select percent change, which corresponds to the current map that you already see. You can supply a measure of error field here. I'm not going to do so here because we don't have it available for MOE change, for percent change. So I'm going to leave that blank. But in some cases, for example, if I were to change this to the estimate for year 2, you notice I have a measure of error for year 2, but we don't have that for percent change here. So we're going to leave that empty for now. You'll then need to define your spatial relationships. This is used to define the neighborhood for each tract in this case. So for each tract, what you're doing is identifying a neighborhood. You are then doing a statistical calculation on that neighborhood in comparison to each individual tract, and that's how it derives whether it's a hot spot, cold spot, or not significant spot. I like to use K nearest neighbors for demographic data. It's going to default to 8. So what that means is that for every census tract, it's going to take its 8 nearest neighbors and that defines the neighborhood for each tract, and then it uses the data for those neighboring features to derive the final calculation. You can define different significant levels here. I'll just do a 95% confidence level. And it does create an output feature class. I'm going to leave the default name here. As you can see, household income, Denver, Colorado hotspot analysis. So that should be fine for what we're doing here. And at this point, I'll go ahead and click the run button, and it's going to do its statistical calculation against the data. And the black box that you're seeing there is just the background processing that goes on. We're using R as the background for this. And there's your output, right? So again, a hotspot analysis is used to take some numeric field, which in this case is median income by tract. And what we're doing here with the hotspot analysis tool, again, is we're identifying where high and low values cluster together, right? Not just individual high-low values, but where the clusters of neighbors are with similar values. The tracts that you see highlighted in red, and there's different confidence levels that we're defining here, but these are your hotspots, right? So these are the areas that we have identified from the existing layer that have been identified as statistically significant hotspots for median household income. And again, that's being derived based off that percent change column. It doesn't look like there are any cold spots. There are a lot of non-significant spots, so these are just statistically insignificant tracts in relation to the overall data set. And then there are a few tracts that were not analyzed. Sometimes you'll get data that just isn't capable of being analyzed. In this case, there's a couple of tracts here that were identified that kind of fell into that category of not having enough data or not, maybe there's issues with the underlying data. So sometimes some tracks will be left out of the analysis, or you'll have an unreliable estimate, or you get different things going on. But this is a great tool for identifying statistically significant clusters of either hotspots or cold spots for your demographic data. All right, that'll bring us to the end of this video. I appreciate you joining me. In future videos, we'll do additional videos on other analysis tools found in the Census Studio toolbox, as well as some of the download tools that you can use. We'll see you next time.